talking earlier about how this vote in Kentucky is once again coal country.
Yes, it is.
About jobs.
Well, and Hillary Clinton is so offended the coal industry. She's tried to be as much as Barack Obama could be to all the green people. But look, that's causing a lot of people to lose their jobs, their livelihood, their cultures. It's more than a job. It's a culture. It's a way of life. And these people have worked really, really hard. If you've ever understood the world of the people in Appalachia, you realize these are not people who are lazy. They're hard-working, industrious people. They're proud people. And the insult that they have experienced because of Hillary Clinton and Barack Obama saying, your industry is terrible. Well, it isn't terrible. It's helped build America. It's helped build the world. And I frankly hope she gets her comeuppance today.
Well, we'll see, because it's tighter than I thought initially. You know, we knew what was going to happen in the last couple of weeks. But today's a little tighter.
And the fact that she's talking about her husband, Bill, I think that's a whiff of desperation in terms of trying to figure out a way to relate to the people of not only Kentucky, but in the South, where she feels like she's losing them.
And well, why now? Why now?
I think it's because she realizes that he's popular and she isn't. But the fact is, she's not Bubba. Let me tell you, I know both of them. And he has this warm, charming, wonderful way. And I'll tell you this, he's a pragmatist when it comes to governing. That's how he governed.
He has a better track record than her as well.
Much more so, because as both a governor and as a president, he was a pragmatist. He was ideological until it wouldn't help him, until it wouldn't go anywhere. And then he said, look, let's deal with what we have. She's an ideologue. Big difference between the two of them and how they approach things.
What do you think about these meetings that Trump has set up? The campaign has there's some big meetings set up this week. He's meeting with foreign policy guru Henry Kissinger. Separately, Trump's senior political advisor Barry Bennett will meet with Facebook CEO Mark Zuckerberg. That's happening at the company's headquarters on Wednesday to talk about Facebook's bias allegations. These meetings on the docket.
Well, I think it's an important way for Donald Trump to show that that sort of bravado version of Donald Trump is not the only thing there is. There is a very serious candidate, a very serious business person, and a person who does, in fact, surround himself with good advice. I think this is the big take on Donald Trump that people miss. He is not a guy that sits there and takes only his own counsel. You don't build the empire that he has built doing that. And there was a simplicity about his primary message. It resonated with voters. I'm sitting here talking to you instead of being on the campaign trail because I'm one of the 16 people he wiped out. But the fact is, he did it by keeping the message simple and saying to people, let's get America put back first and not be globalist, let's be nationalist. And frankly, I think there are a lot of Americans who want to put America back on the upward track.
Yeah, you had mentioned you were one of the 16 people he took out, and is there a different side of Donald that we're not seeing behind the scenes? Because after one of the debates, you went to his rally for veterans, and so can you talk about the different Donald behind stage that we're not seeing? Because some establishment members are starting to come around to Donald now.
Well, if they get to know him, what they're going to find that this is a really thoughtful, serious guy. And I'll tell you, the best way to know Donald Trump is to watch him interact with his family. I've never seen a person who has a deeper, more genuine bond with his wife, with his children, adult children, and by the way, not just children, but extraordinarily talented, gifted, and
very good family,
very hardworking. These are not kids who lived with a silver spoon and things handed to them. He made them work, and they are incredibly responsible.
We've had them on.
I said even at the same, while being critical of the language that he was using about certain groups, I said that those kids are his greatest asset. That was like months ago.
Secret weapon,
right now, though, this is his sweet spot where Hillary Clinton's still trying to worry about appearing likable and fending off, getting Bernie Sanders out of the way. But what can Trump do to really burnish his own image in these kind of months between now and the convention, where there are not a lot of polls out, where it's kind of out there for the taking?
I think he continues to do what he's doing, and that's having the thoughtful, serious meetings with people. But it's also being Donald Trump. I hope he does not get sucked into the vortex of all the D.C. political consultants that, frankly, have goofed up this country about as clearly as anybody. And I want him to make sure that he doesn't allow himself to be suckered by these guys who have, frankly, helped put us where we are. He needs to continue to listen to the people that have brought him to this nomination, and I think if he does that, I still say he's going to win. He is going to beat Hillary Clinton.
You think he's going to beat Hillary Clinton?
Absolutely, I do.
Yeah.
You know why? Because Hillary Clinton is like the British Army in the Revolutionary War. She'll march in an open field, bright red coats, shoulder to shoulder with a drum beating. We know exactly what she's going to do. It'll be very predictable. Donald Trump will run a campaign, if he did like he did in the primary, like the swamp fox. He'll be hiding in the trees. You'll never see where it's coming from, and he will take her out because
certain polls are backing that up too.
What's that?
Certain national polls are showing that
Some are.
Yeah, she doesn't handle the unexpected well. It's easy to push her buttons and get her off message.
Well, for a while it was just the Quinnipiac poll that said that he was beating, but I guess there are others that are showing they're close.
In terms of like that Quinnipiac, the state poll, like we have to get a lot more polls in the next few months to get a really good sense of how they're running against each other in these critical states.
I bet we will see that. I bet you're right. We got a big night coming up on the Fox Broadcast Network, by the way. Fox News' Megyn Kelly is sitting down with Donald Trump in an exclusive one-on-one interview. You got to see this preview, Governor. Watch this.
You said you didn't feel that the moderators had been nice. But do you think it's the journalist's role to be nice to presidential candidates at a debate?
No, fair. I don't care if they're nice. They have to
you
be
use the word nice.
Well, okay. No, I don't think so. I mean, I might have said they weren't nice, but that doesn't mean they have to be nice. I mean, I've known many...
You know, it's not a cocktail party.
No. I tell you what, in a certain way, what you did might have been a favor, because I felt so good about having gotten through. I said, if I can get through this debate with those questions, you can get through anything.
Now, you participated in the presidential debates yourself, obviously.
Yes.
What do you think is the role of a journalist? I mean, when I was doing the debate with Neil Cavuto and Jerry Baker, we felt very strongly that we needed to just be straight, stick to the issues, no personality.
I will say this, and I'm not just groveling, so let you be aware. I thought Fox Business did the best job in the entire debate process of anybody. And the reason why is because the questions were all straight up. None of them were gotcha questions. They were legitimate and thoughtful follow-ups, but none of them were out to say, let's go after this guy, let's go after this guy, or let's see if we can engage these guys in a food fight.